Hey guys, welcome back to RIPP Superchargers and thanks for stopping by. So this can be considered a part 2 of a one-part series when we're doing some NA testing on our 2018 Ram Pentastar powered with a V6 in it. So just a few moments ago and one video ago, we basically did some horsepower testing on a naturally aspirated vehicle, which means there is no boost and there are no modifications. And the vehicle clicked off 239.7, which is, let's say, 240 horsepower at the rear wheel with no other modifications other than being it is what it is, it's stock. So at RIPP we make a performance ignition coil that we've been selling, and it's very, very popular, and we always like to prove that product, and we like to prove that product on a naturally aspirated vehicle with no other modifications, and this is a prime example. This vehicle has 750 miles on it, it's basically brand new, it's only been driven around here, no performance mods have been made to it, so the only thing we did was install our coils right on top of the stock spark plugs and air filter and exhaust system and wheels and gears and everything else. So if you want to come see, basically you can see them in their Hemi orange, somewhere in there, because the engine's really far in a Ram. But those orange boxes over there, those are basically ignition coils, and what they do is they send spark to the spark plug, which then lights up the fuel, and then there's all that magic that happens in between, and power is made. What ours do is basically they're 12% more powerful than stock. They're made with more robust components internally, and essentially they're amplified units over the OEMs. We made these coils because factory coils, being in the position we're in naturally, we see a lot of V6 vehicles. You know, a lot of Jeeps, a lot of SUVs, the Grand Cherokees, the Durangos, the cars, 300s and all that, and we see that ignition failure happen quite often. It's usually just a bad coil. We get a misfire. People misconceive that as or misinterpret that rather as a tune issue or a supercharger issue or some other issue, but really it's just an ignition coil that went bad. So we took the liberty of making a much stronger one. Well, anyway, without going into some long explanation as to how they work, they're just amplified coils and they're better. This vehicle is on a dyno. It made 240 before. Let's see what it makes with the coils. That's so crazy. Jumped out, so excited. Jumped out without shutting the car off. All right, so 239.7 represents the red line, and that's the previous pass. So we're going to look at what we did right now, and there you go, 248. So essentially just about 10 horsepower on this one. But you could see what we did here. We fattened up the power quite a bit, right? If you looked at the horsepower and the torque, everything's a lot fatter. You're going to feel that because it's more horsepower right from the get. And now remember, this vehicle has not been tuned. No other changes have been made. We literally just put coils on top of the stock engine. So, you know, it's really, hey, check this out. You know what's really crazy? Remember how I always talk about that weird cam situation we have with a stock tune all the time? Look at how that's straightened out right there. That's telling me something's going on with fueling. So if you went into naturally aspirated tunes or something like that, you're probably able to fix that if you spend a lot of time in that one area. Naturally, we do the supercharging, so we're fixing that anyway because we're looking at air fuel from a boosted standpoint. But nonetheless, if you could just put in one little component and get that kind of power, because in that little spot over there, you're gaining almost 15, 20 horsepower. You're going to feel that in the meat of the horsepower, in the meat of the RPM. So, that's a pretty good mod. A few $100, 40 minutes of your time, no other mods. I like it. Thanks, guys.